You going this way, guys?
Yeah, go this
Bigger
way.
loop. Take two. I'm Peter Bradshaw, 20, Inverclyde AC, Edinburgh Hares and Hounds, ex-Glasgow Hares and Hounds. We don't talk about that. So God, I started out, Harry McGill introduced me to running actually. I don't know if that's a name that people know. But he's a good friend of mine, we went to the same school. And he used to take me to cross-country sessions once a week. And once a week was enough training for me to start with. And then in 2019, I got fed up and I wanted to win, and then I paid a random South African man on the internet to give me a program, and since then I've just been improving. Yeah, it's all because of that. It's Dylan, thank you. But no, it's really the progression came when I joined Inverclyde in March of 2019.
Yeah, so you started off in Inverclyde, getting coached by
Nori Hay. Yeah.
And are you still? How was like that experience as a whole? And are you still being coached by him?
Yeah, so I mean, Nori was exactly what I wanted at the time that I got him, and he just sort of introduced me to the world of middle distance running, and I got all my PBs down. And to this day, I'm still working with them. I mean, at the moment, the training structure is sort of, I would say I'm self-coached. I'm working on my own experiment, but Nori's sort of overseeing everything, green lighting my stupid ideas, or saying, don't do that, that's a stupid idea. And then,
You have someone to bounce it off.
yeah, exactly, I bounce off him a lot, and then sort of, obviously I'm at Edinburgh, so I try and drop in with the Pollard guys as much as I can.
Yeah, in terms of Edinburgh Uni, that's where you're obviously studying.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it that made you choose Edinburgh Uni? And were there any American offers that you rejected?
Yeah, so I didn't actually initially choose Edinburgh, I chose Glasgow. I spent my first year there, and then I transferred over. And to be honest, like, there were no particular reasons, I think Edinburgh was a better fit for me. So yeah, I mean, Edinburgh was just a great fit for me. I'm like I'd say I'm a student first and an athlete second. So I always wanted to go kind of a more academic uni than than athletic. And so like America wasn't necessarily a consideration for me, bearing in mind like sort of the more academic schools there don't always give scholarships. And I'm not too wealthy, so you know the free degree in Scotland was a great fit for me. Exactly.
Not surprised. And in terms of like degree, what degree are you doing at uni? Like what are you studying, and what was like the biggest sort of adaptations you had to make from going from like high school into doing like a kind of training and studying at the same time?
So I study maths. Huge nerd. I used to study maths and physics, but those physics kids were a bit too weird. So now I'm just doing maths, but to be honest, I think the main difference between school and university is there's no forced schedule. At school you have like certain times you have to wake up and generally go to sleep sort of, but with uni it's much more flexible, and so while that does give me like a greater degree of freedom in my training, it can also be an added challenge in terms of like I have to build my own schedule and manage that.
And in terms of training, talking a little bit more about that, you seem to quite like enjoy the science behind it, doing a lot of lactate training.
Yeah.
If you could just give the people a bit of background into like how that works and why you do it.
Yeah, so I actually spent years talking to my old friend Harry McGill about, you know, obviously you see what the Ingebrigtsens are doing. It's all pretty interesting. And then, you know, reading more into it, reading about Marius Bakken. I don't know how much people know about it, but I found it really interesting, and they made a persuasive argument for, I mean, 327 is a pretty persuasive argument, but, you know, they were making a good scientific argument for why it was a good training structure. And it's just something I wanted to experiment with. And something I could sort of believe in and invest in.
Yeah.
I've always been someone who's like to control my training, easy runs easy, things like that. But the lactate meter and the double thresholds has just allowed me to have an extra level of control in the training and really push up the volume.
I think you'll continue it through like the winter training as well.
Yeah, so I only just started properly doing it this winter, and I'm very cautious with things. So I eased it in really slowly. I wouldn't say this winter was like a full winter of it, but next winter will be a full week of 2 double thresholds, and that will be sort of the litmus test for whether that's the structure for me or not. But even the initial sort of soundings of how it's worked out, I've been in by far the best aerobic shape of my life, highest consistency of my life. I feel a lot better, and I have a lot more confidence in the way I'm training.
Definitely, yeah. So, and moving on to racing, what's like your sort of most proud performance that you've had? What's like the favourite race you've done so far in your career?
Probably my favourite race has to be either of my 2 medals at Bedford. The first one is my first year in middle distance running, so I didn't really understand the gravity of it. I literally, in February, I'd competed in the triple jump at Scottish Indoor Nationals, and then I won a medal in the steeple at Bedford.
Not many people can say that.
So that was sort of, but I don't think I realised how strange of a progression that was. And to then sort of come back and get a bronze in the 3K a couple of years later, that was really special because I think I understood how hard that was by that point. So yeah, probably one of those.
Definitely. And so far this season, you've had a very solid season, running 3:48 for the 1500, if I'm not mistaken. That's your PB.
Yeah.
What are your goals for the rest of the season, especially with like the build up to Scottish Champs in August?
Yeah, so for me this has definitely been like a transitionary year. I've always come into it thinking that with the new training structure, running way more miles than I ever have. I've averaged like 141k for the last like month. So to be honest, I would really like to run, I'd like to be in 346 shape. I don't think I'll get an opportunity actually to run a fast 15 then anymore this year, but I really love to beat some guys at nationals and just know that I'm in that fitness and I can just bring that forward to next year. I don't have any concrete goals, but I have planned the second half of the season much more effectively than the first. I've got a race every week, so this is my last prep week, and then from the miler meets next week, race every week until the end of the season. PB in every race, you know.
Sounds good. And what's your session today? What have you got on the cards?
Today's just a bit of a top up. We did race pace on, this is Thursday, so we did race pace on Saturday and Tuesday. So today's just some threshold. Hopefully we'll get some lactate testing in for you. And that's sort of the bread and butter of the training really. Over the winter I'm doing 3 of those per week, moving up to 4 next year. And hopefully it'll be quite controlled. Normally I'd be pushing the lactate up to 3.5 or so, but today I'm going to keep it under 3, a bit more controlled, just so I can feel good going into next week.
Nice one. So in terms of shoes, what's your main sort of rotation for easy runs, like tempos, sessions, races?
Easies. I've been riding the Pegasus for 4 years now. And then sessions, almost everything I prefer flats. Not these.
Yeah.
If I wear these for the K reps only. Anything under that, I've got these Asics that I wear.
And for the races, you're racing in Dragonflies for the 15?
Yeah, Dragonflies and Vaporflies for the road.
Perfect.
But yeah, I don't do much like anything longer than this. I'll just wear pegs. It's like 2k reps on threshold. I wear pegs, but I just think like there's
Saving
a middle ground, and I wear the Vaporflies for the Ks. That's the only thing.
Well, it's a 70s.
No, 80s. Alright. 70s. Right, ready? Let's go. That was 240. When I get to test the blood, I'll put my pilot on. Yellow card. It's actually against the breaks up that rules. Yeah, I know.
Alright, 2 reps done, how are we feeling? Raining hard?
Fine. Yeah, just trying to keep the lactate down. We'll see in 2 reps how high it is, but...
What about you, David?
Not bad, not bad. Nice and threshold, man.
19 seconds. You got this. I believe in you. Wow. Good. That was great. At least we're not like dying up some mountain on the Tour de France, you know. Instead we're in the middle of salt. It could be worse. That's the best spacing I've ever seen.
I'm going second in right so long. Next slide.
This is like the worst for me as well. No, you didn't like that.
You doing it here inside the shelter?
This should be a time trial in itself, you know.
Transition like triathlon. So you prick the finger,
Yeah.
take the reading.
And try and move the legs, because I find out if you don't move, you get so stiff.
What are we looking for?
2 to 3. Might be a little bit low. Yeah. It's just early on, that's really
Easy
good.
work.
Yeah. 1.7 is really good. So apparently 3:15 is steady, so. Right? Within the minute as well.
You good?
Yeah, just whenever.
Good stuff,
5,
boys.
yeah, number 5, yeah. Normally, for a double threshold day, I'd be looking for, in the morning, longer reps on the treadmill, aiming for around 2. My threshold's at 3.5. My first threshold's at around 2 to 2.5. So aim for 2 in the morning, and in the evening, usually I aim to start quicker reps, start around 2.5, build up to 3.5. Or if I really want to push it, just 3.5 from the start. See how long I can sustain it. But since I'm racing in 8 days, this one's just a lighter one. Did a double on Tuesday, actual and race pace. So that was quite intense. So
yeah, I was gonna ask, coming off like race pace training sets, you usually find like the reading a lot of Hares and flush out kind of feeling.
Yeah, so after like VO2 max type work, you can see it initially, your ability to clear lactate can be quite bad. It's like first few reps you can be really stiff, and then usually if you're in good shape, after that the lactate will come down. But if you're in bad shape, it'll just keep climbing. But the aerobic system sometimes takes a couple reps to sort of get going. Yeah, exactly. And that's the same with the double thresholds. Like if I'm doing 10 by K in the evening, first 2 or 3 reps, I'll be like, this is horrible. And then it really gets going. But today I just feel fine because it's a single. And I got these guys to help me.
I'll see.
I'll see. Yeah. I'm going to go first down on this one. Or you go. Have you got it? You good, Frank? So this is the rep. We're past halfway. So if I'm doing a progressive session, I'll take that pre-progression reading, and then after that one, I'll push the pace a little bit. That's this rep, and then I'll test here. And if the level's good, I'll stay there. And if it's still low, I'll progress more. Yeah, I've done so much threshold.
See if you deal with it.
Yeah, I can keep talking as well, eh?
It said it's. I don't think I've ever actually done this in torrential rain.
Yeah. I know, does that affect the readings, you reckon?
I think if you landed a water droplet on the sensor, it definitely would. I'm going to just hope that doesn't happen.
I mean, well, if you're still talking during the reps, I think you're doing alright.
Yeah.
You have to switch fingers each time.
I like to, just so I don't get bruises in the one place.
Yeah.
Right,
Right, let's see what we got this time.
no lies. It's definitely got rain in it. 2? Yeah, that's great. That was the 307.
307 for that rep?
Yeah. So
Just
I'll probably keep it like just under 3%. Ready?
That 307?
That was the 307, yeah.
Yeah, I stopped my clock so late.
Alright, ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm feeling alright.
Wait, what are you talking about? This is just a warm-up. You should be feeling alright.
Shit, this guy, eh? Nah, I'm just trying to not act tired about that.
Dave Anderson socked in the absolute holy land. How are you feeling?
Good. I love this pace, man.
Yeah.
It's 390 metres a lap.
Do some quick fire questions.
Yeah.
Right, we'll start with you, Peter. Split shorts or half tights?
Half days.
Half tights, yeah.
Yeah.
Gable?
Split shorts.
Alright, what are you saying?
Half tight.
Alright, favourite pre-race song?
Song?
Yeah,
Oh.
or like tune or whatever.
Right, I've got this hype tune. Mega obscure.
Yeah.
It's called Overtime by this band called Nowhere.
Yeah.
And the only good version is the live version on YouTube.
Right, Dave, what about you?
Read all about it, part 2.
Yeah.
By Emily Sandy.
Alright, what about
Bit
you?
of Avicii, can't go wrong.
Yeah, can't go wrong. Classics.
Go! 4, 8, 7, 1.
Yeah,
the
Burned them all.
rest of the group have left you. You're on your own now.
They heard my hype song and they're like, that's too far.
Yeah. 8 reps done.
Yeah.
What are you going for?
Just more like 308, 307.
You're the same.
2 more.
Will you take another reading or just keep it at that?
Yeah, on number 10.
Yeah.
Just to validate my running.
Good stuff.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be 3.2 or below.
Yeah.
Hopefully. That would be a really good sign.
Good stuff.
Right, I'm gonna head off now.
Yeah, go for it.
Heart rate 165.
All-time running idol.
I mean, it's horrible, but I have to say Jakob. I mean, come on.
I mean, if you're doing this amount of threshold training,
Exactly.
you've got to have, yeah, that makes sense.
After Tuesday's session, I texted my splits to my coach Nori,
Yeah.
and he replied, Jakob would be proud of you, smiley face. And it made my week.
I'm sure you would. Right, what's your favourite track you've run on in Scotland?
Honestly, I've recently really been liking Crown Point when it's not windy.
Great.
I feel okay.
Last rep. Weather's starting to dry up a wee bit just as you're about to finish. Got the boys doing some strides over there.
Yeah. That's a question for the people. Strides on an easy day or a session day?
How'd you call it, strides or striders?
Strides.
Strides. Gotta be strides.
I'm a strider, they're strides, you know?
Yeah.
That's how that works. Heart rate's good, so this one should be a good number. It's way too wet. Might work. Just cut that bit out.
What are we hoping for?
Under 3, but 3.5 is that's really nice. That's really good. I'm happy.
Good day in the office.
3.5, 307 for the last 4 or 5.
Yeah. Ideal.
And then, yeah, it was great.
How was the session?
Session was actually really great.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a single threshold day, so that's probably why it felt quite a bit easier. But sort of kept the lactate between 2 and 3, which is exactly the goal. Really quite low. And then prep for my other meet 8 days from now.
Yeah.
And then then an 800, then the week after, then nationals the week after that, then a 5k the week after that, and then Monument Mile the week after that.
Busy man.
Yeah,
Right,
so
good
that's
luck.
it.